Today I'm going to talk about a new sheriff in town. This is Walter Wilson. I'm a lawyer and I've been practicing over 50 years in the areas of federal and state income tax, ad valorem and sales tax. And the new sheriff is something called the Series LLC. And this sheriff has been around for decades, but it's starting to come to your state, and you should absolutely call your lawyer and your CPA and say, yes, you went to this seminar, attended this program, and one of the episodes that you watched dealt with a Series LLC. Now basically here's what it is. Imagine a beehive, and the outer case of the beehive is the shell, and inside the shell there are cells. All right, the outside is the host, and the inside cells can be separate limited liability companies for each of your operations. Well, let's say you have multiple operations. Right now, each one might be a freestanding unit, an LLC, PLLC, an Inc. Well, you can put them all into one through the series environment, and you can cut your compliance costs for tax returns and submissions to the state by, in many cases, 50, 60, 70% a year. Well, if you figure the average cost for state and federal tax returns and compliance costs is about $5,000 an entity between the lawyers and the CPAs, multiply it times the number of entities, and now you have one tax return to file with the Fed, one compliance return to file with the state, and your personal return. So you need to ask whether or not your state has enabling legislation for a series environment. And if you have more than two entities, you need to consider the series environment. Each cell, which is what each part of the beehive analogy is, can have its own tax structure, can have its own federal ID number, it can have its own bank account, and most state statutes say that cells cannot contaminate other cells, cells cannot contaminate the host cannot contaminate the cells. And case law now is supporting that. So this is something that you need to take a look at if you have multiple entities. It is a significant advancement from a compliance savings every year, but it's also from an asset protection standpoint. In many states, it's better than having freestanding individual entities. And you can still use the planning techniques to avoid or reduce federal estate tax. You can still have a cell to be a management cell and provide the benefits there. You can have different owners of cells. You can have different taxing structures in cells. But what's really significant is you can structure certain benefits inside a series that will help you recruit and retain key employees. So if there's anyone in your organization who is key that you want to keep, the series will offer you the ability to set up a program exclusively to retain them, and the federal government will pay for most of the benefit for that key employee. We started doing this 10 years ago within the series when it came to Texas, and we have not lost one key employee, and we've cut compliance costs by almost 70% per year. So this is significant, and I hope that you will inquire from your lawyer, from your CPA, and maybe even if they've got questions, they'll give us a call. Thank you very much for joining us today.